This episode has been brought to you from the DGMS Studios, home of Don't Get Me Started, Lethal and Mully Live and Surftown. Found at Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music and wherever you listen to your podcast. It's the mother of all podcasts with Keith and Lee. Hi, I'm Lee.
And I'm Keith.
Mully, we finally got Michael out the studio. He wouldn't go. We had to drag him out, screaming and kicking. But thank you, Michael. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. So what we'd like to do now, which is our final of 2024, is just to thank the listeners and family and friends. What I do, Mully, if it's okay with you want me to start off?
Yes, please do that.
As we come to the end of another remarkable year, I sit before you filled with gratitude and appreciation for each and every one of you, whether you're tuning in from a bustling city or a quiet town, from different continents or just down the street. Your presence has made this journey very special. To our dedicated listeners around the world, thank you for welcoming us into your lives. Your support has been a beacon of light, guiding our creativity and inspiring us to explore new topics, share diverse stories, and engage in meaningful conversations. The feedback, reviews, and messages we've received remind us of why we started this podcast in the first place: to connect, to share knowledge, and foster a sense of community. We've laughed together, learned together, and sometimes even cried together. Each episode is a reflection of the vibrant tapestry of voices that you all represent. Your stories and experiences enrich our discussions and remind us of the power of connection in an increasingly divided world. And to our family and friends, a heartfelt thank you for standing by us. Your encouragement has been invaluable. We know there was times where we were lost in editing, recording, late into the night or brainstorming our next big idea. Your patience and belief in us kept us going. We are so grateful for your support, your understanding, and your willingness to listen, even when Mully continually rambled on. As we look forward to a new year, we are excited about the possibilities that lie ahead. We have plans for more engaging content, thought-provoking discussions, and perhaps even more surprises along the way. We can't wait to continue this journey with all of you. So let's raise a glass, metaphorically speaking, to another year of shared stories, laughter, and connection. Thank you for being part of our podcast family. Your support means the world to us, and we are so excited to see where this journey takes us. And also a big thank you to all our guests from Noosa Now, Don't Get Me Started, in Surftown. Thank you so much for sharing the stories with us. And as we close this incredible year, I want to take a moment to shine a light on someone who has been an absolutely essential to this journey. My amazing co-host, Mully. I can't thank you enough for your unwavering support, creativity and enthusiasm. From our very first episode to our latest discussions, you have brought not only your expertise, but your unique perspective and infectious energy. Working alongside you has not only made this podcast a joy, but has also taught me so much. Your passion to our topics and your ability to connect with our listeners have truly elevated our show.
Come on, stop it.
Whether we're diving into deep discussions or sharing a laugh, you have a way of making everything feel natural and engaging. I'm grateful for your insights, your humour, and your willingness to experiment and try new things. Thank you for being a partner in this endeavour, for listening when I needed to brainstorm, and for always being ready to tackle the next challenge. I couldn't have asked for a better co-host, and I'm excited for all the adventures that lie ahead for us. Here's to you, Mully, and to another year of fantastic conversation and memorable moments. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished together, and I can't wait to see where our journey takes us next year. Thank you.
Lee, I'm almost reduced over here. Very warm, heartfelt words and fine words too. I simply reiterate your sentiment to all our listeners. They have been with us throughout the year and we have received encouraging feedback from them, and we will want to thank you for that and wish you a very Merry Christmas. But before I go a little bit further with my Christmas wishes, let me just explain a few basic things. Lee and myself started podcasting earlier this year with the intention of simply podcasting. We didn't really have a particular message. We didn't have a particular theme. We didn't even have a target audience in mind. But very quickly, we found that we worked well together, that we had a natural chemistry, that we could spark off each other, and we just simply loved talking about life. We tried to tackle a few big issues like some of the geopolitical maneuverings and some of the cultural trends that are happening around the world. As much as we may have a little bit of an opinion on that, we don't have deep insights, and we're happy to talk about that. But we found a natural groove just talking about life. Kind of evolved into a digital well-being men's female shed, if you like. And we have not only grown, but the podcast has grown. Lee has built a brilliant studio. We have the facilities here to have 4 people on the mic. One, when we record one episode, we have 3 or 4 cameras all set up ready to launch into YouTube next year. We have lighting. It's just a very comfortable, well-appointed studio, and there's posters on the wall. There's pictures of guests that we've had in our other podcast stream up on the wall, and it's just a really great, happy space to be in. So what I'm saying is, out of something that we didn't really have a clear goal in mind, our podcasting enterprises has grown. And as Lee mentioned, we have 3 other podcast streams that we do. We have Noosa Now, where we interview people that are associated with the town. We have Lethal, that's Lee's nickname, and Mully, that's my nickname. Lethal and Mully Live, where we are going to be expanding right across the spectrum of life and community and social culture or whatever, talking to people about whatever they're doing, whatever is happening in life. And also I have a podcast where I interview surfers who have done something significant in the surfing world or are still doing it. So we have 4 podcast streams that we are now engaged in. We have also built this professional studio that's available for hire. We're now available to video and podcast editing. All of that has come about because we started simply podcasting, and Lee calls it our journey, which of course it has been. And he has spoken about how you've been, our listeners, you have been with us throughout that journey, which is why he read out his little Christmas speech there, that he is grateful that you, the listeners, have been with us throughout this last 10 months. So I can only say amen to all of that. It's been fantastic. I have absolutely loved growing into what Don't Get Me Started is and has become, and the potential that it's laying out before us for the coming year. In terms of each episode that we have recorded, it has been an absolute thrill to sit here with you, Lee, my co-host, and have the repartee between us to discuss what we have discussed, to enjoy listening to each other, learning from each other. I simply am adamant I could not do this without you. We wouldn't have the studio without you. I wouldn't be able to have the fun, the spark without you. I cannot think of anybody else I'd like to do this podcast with. It's been a joy. I think we've got a bit of chemistry. I'd like to keep that going. I know that you'd like to. As I said, we have quite a bit of potential for growth for 2025, which is really, really exciting. So this is our wrap up for the year. We're wishing all our dear listeners a great Merry Christmas, a safe one wherever you are around the world, and also a prosperous new year. So we'll be signing off for 2024 with this, and we hope to see you in 2025, where we would simply continue being our authentic selves, just Keith and Lee in Don't Get Me Started, discussing life and enjoying every minute of it. So all the best for the holiday season.
Now, I'd just like to add mine. I sat down and it took me a while to write that down. And that's me. I like to put things on paper. Mully, he's just come in, no notes, straight off the cuff. You've got to admire this bloke. It takes me forever to write it down. Mully just, boom, it happened. But we do, and we thank all our listeners, all our family and friends. A special shout out to a Mr. Gary Godsell and a Mr. Ross McMullen. They have been an integral part of our journey too. They've been there from the beginning, and good on you fellas. Also, a few friends that I could go through, but thank you for your support. You've been encouraging, you've helped us. Obviously to Mully, I couldn't have done this without him. We've known one another for 30 plus years. We're the Aussie in the Pom. I hope we continue that way. We are back.
We will continue that way. The only thing that's likely to cause a little bit of a splinter between us, Lee, is when it comes to cricket.
I know.
You know next year, 2025, Australia, I believe, is touring England for an Ashes tour.
I'll be there. You and I will be on to it. You know it.
At the moment in the studio, there's about 2 metres that separate us. We might need a little bit more, right?
Yeah, I might build an office out there for you when we do it.
What's it likely to be, 3 or 5 tests?
So it's 5, isn't it?
Well, that'd be 5-0 to Australia.
Well, we'll see, Malik. It was a draw last time, and the rain, and you knew it, only saved Australia. That was it, the good old English rain.
I was watching Piers Morgan on YouTube last night. I don't watch him all the time, but I actually think he's getting better, more fair. Now, he's a strong, opinionated guy, and that's fine. I have no problems with that. I haven't always agreed with him, but I've thought there was a bit of decency in him. He's not out to really catch people with that, gotcha moment. He's not after that. Anyway, at the end of the interview, which he had with Candace Jones, and second time I've listened to her, she's quite a very articulate lady. They started to have a little bit of friendly banter, and she said to him, who would you have as 5 dinner guests? And one of his choices was Ben Stokes, who is the captain of the English cricket team. Piers Morgan is a global figure who cohorts and sits down and interviews top-flight politicians and business people. Why would he want to have Ben Stokes as a dinner guest?
Because he considers himself to be a bit of a cricketer.
Which one, Ben or Piers?
Piers. I remember probably maybe the last Ashes test or the one before that down here, where he started to attack Brett Lee and said, he couldn't bowl for shit.
Did he say that?
Yeah, and then there was a little segment like they do here on Channel 10 on the cricket, and they'd lined him up in the nets. He's batting. Brett Lee came into bowl. And
brilliant.
Why would you say that against Brett Lee?
He's got the figures.
He's just fast.
Yes,
and he came in, mate, and he was all over Piers Morgan, because I'm not a fan of Piers. I agree with you. I think he is mellowing a bit. But the thing is that at the end of it, very sheepish, very sore and bruised.
Oh, he got body line, did he?
For sure. So well done, Piers. Good on you, mate.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need to open your mouth too much to cop it.
You don't do it with the Aussie fast bowlers. You just don't.
No, you're going to get
not on their home ground.
But let's go back to Ben Stokes. I just thought he was just a cricketer. I mean, is there a mind there? I mean, is he going to come along and say, look, I've been dissecting Shakespeare's plays and I've come down to about 5 subplots?
I really looked into his background.
Is he an engineer?
He's a Kiwi.
Ben Stokes is a Kiwi.
Born in New Zealand.
Yeah, but he seems to me to be a Pom through and through.
Well, just because of the ginger hair, Molly, is that it?
No, he seems to me to be the type of guy that would walk into a pub and want to kind of own the space the moment he's walked in, got that, what are you looking at, mate? It's a point or a punch. What do you want?
Point or a punch.
He seems to emulate that sort of persona to me. And, a great cricketer, yes, definitely. But if I invite people to a dinner party, I want their minds to come. I don't want their reputation. How can you get a lot of jazz and thrill for the night out of somebody's reputation? You're going to sit there and let their presence sort of come and sweep over you?
It is an unusual one. I agree. We'll see, Mully. But we won't turn this into a podcast. This is just a thank you, by the way.
Well, we can't help ourselves, can we?
We're back on the 9th of January. If you'd like to contact us or send us a message, or you've got some inquiry, send it to don'tgetmestarted2024@gmail.com. Don't get me started 2024@gmail.com.
Yes, particularly you, Ben Stokes, if you're listening, because I'm mystified. I'm open to be enlightened. And if you feel that you have the qualifications or the justification for putting me in my place, fine. But you have to back that up with why you would be invited to my dinner party. I would be delighted to hear from you, Mr. Stokes. And if I don't, I want to wish you all the best next year, should you be selected to try and take on the Aussies for the 2025 Ashes series.
Bring it on. Well, Mully, thanks for a wonderful year, mate. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I hope you have a great Christmas and New Year.
And same to you, Lee, my good man.
And I'll leave you the last word of 2024.
I can't believe it. All my life I've always wanted to have the last word. Just ask my family. Anyway, Lee, all the best, man. And a big love, Christmas love to you and your family. And may you all be safe, have a great merry time. And the same to all our listeners. And we will see you in 2025. Hooroo.
And it's goodbye from me.